biggest funk. Thoughts deep, boys steeped in the depths that he sunk. Big stress, depressed in the middle of fall. Sky gray, I late in the thick of it all. I wonder, how long can a human survive just staying alive or carrying the rest of the tribe? Waiting for the day to arrive or struggling dies, and I be doing way, way more than getting by. So why? Got myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, got myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Realize life is so much more than just living a day. Every day I can sit and reflect and breathe and connect to myself and know that I've been given. See, giving up is not an option. So when I'm looking at gray skies, I'll be adopting a new way to deal with a test. Lord, relieve me of stress, to bring me looking like we're blessings dropping. And so I got myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Water in it softly, cleanse me of stress I hold. Hey, here we go. Yeah. Let's do this. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Woo.
Salute everybody on good evening, good evening. I am Urban. Appreciate y'all tuning in to the podcast tonight. Now, first of all, I know that I had the other stream that's supposed to be today where I was talking about the coffee date thing. That I decided to postpone that until tomorrow night's show. And there's a reason behind that. But the main reason is that I really, really wanted to talk about this particular topic tonight. The reason why I want to talk about this because I feel like that this is something that a lot of us can relate to. It don't matter your age, it don't matter your gender, it don't matter your religious beliefs, it don't matter none of that. Because it all fits into this same umbrella of what I'm going to share with y'all tonight on this podcast, all right? So let me ask y'all this question. Why did God make you the way that you are? Let me ask in another way. Why do you think God made you the way that you are? Now, immediately, some of y'all probably, thinking about this and y'all be like, did God really make me the way that I am? Some of y'all will even rebuttal that question by saying, well, I don't know if it's God, but what about it being, cultural or social norms or society? What if society made me the way that I am, that shape and form who I am right now? That rebuttal is something very valid, and I'm not going to take it away, But even then, it still goes to the main question of the why part. So now on this podcast, I just want to talk to y'all about this. I want to talk to y'all about this topic. And like always, I'm going to just expound on, my personal experiences and hope that y'all can relate to where I'm coming from with this. All right. So the best way that I can do this is just by once again telling y'all a story once again about my life. All right. Now, those of y'all who know who been like really following this channel, I'm like very transparent about my past relationships and stuff, right? Preferably my previous marriage. Now, through that process, I mean, going through all that, it shaped up a lot in me. It shaped up a different worldview and everything. Throughout that whole process, of, my previous marriage and transitioning all the way into who I am today, um, I learned a lot. Learned a whole lot. I learned a whole lot about myself. I learned a whole lot that a lot of things that I was doing, it was only a reflection of, what I'm saying, my upbringing. So I learned that even within my upbringing was pretty toxic per se. Not toxic to the sense where it's the super chaotic and abusive, but well, extremely abusive, but it was just abusive in certain ways, such as spiritual abuse, such as religious abuse, based on my parents um, making the decision that they wanted to do, certain things for us as children, for us in a religious perspective, which I share that to y'all. If you want to miss that, you can want to go to my own channel, and I have a whole playlist talking about that other spiritual abuse. All right, so you can want to check that playlist out. But throughout that process, I was going through a lot of self discovery with myself, figuring out who I am, why I did what I did, and all this good old stuff. And just like I say, I eventually start figuring out it's still from my upbringing up to my adult years that end up manifesting itself into my relationships. But I want to just stick on this particular thing with just talking about just me, okay? And this whole podcast is gonna make sense to y'all, all right? Um, just like I say, I had to go through the whole process of um, rediscovering myself. I had to figure out a lot of things about myself, figure out why I behave the way that I behave, why I do the things that I do. All right. So throughout this process, it had me even questioning God. Okay. And the question that I asked God is, why did you make me the way that I am? Part of who I am, the core me, or who I am, is that first of all, I am a, believe it or not, y'all. Even though I'm out here talking to y'all live, believe it or not, y'all, I am a introverted person. I am a very introverted person. If I had it my way, I'll feel good just being on my personal island and doing me, and I'll be perfectly content with that. Be perfectly happy with that. But however, I know through social norms, right? I know that I cannot be that way. So I always go through the process of bettering myself to become more of a extrovert when I need to be an extrovert. Hence what I'm doing right now. But even still, that core thing of me being an introvert still is dormant to me. So I question that. I said, like, well, God, why did you make me this way? Why couldn't it be, the opposite way? And another thing is that too, I question about, my I question about, saying my gender at one point in time where I like, well, God, why did you make me a male instead of, a female? Well, what was up with that? What was the purpose of you doing that? I question my race. I question why God made me a black African American male instead of any other type of one race of nationality. You know, I question why is it that some people have a certain drive, a certain ambition to do certain things, and they will do it all the way to the bitter end. Why I don't have that same type of drive and ambition? Now, don't get me wrong. I do have certain type of drives and ambition, right? But mine is not to the level, like how you see like billionaires like Joe Bezos and Bill Gates and different people like that, where they just driven, until they are very successful. Mine is not on that level with them, but it does on this another level, and I question that. I question why I couldn't be that way. I question the certain decision choices that I have made, why I made these choices. I question at one point in time, I was so much of an introvert where I was even questioning me, approaching people and talking, being able to have that courage to go up and talk to people. So it being a lot of things that I question God about me, about the core of me. And of course, unfortunately, I never received that type of answer from God. So it left me in a space where I just don't know. Now I know y'all probably is paying attention to this picture that's on right next to me, right? I purposely designed this picture because I wanted to share an illustration with y'all tonight on this podcast. The illustration I want to share with y'all is that um, I honestly believe that we have two different sides of us. We have just like I stated earlier, we have the quote unquote social norm side of us where we could be cordial, we could be civil, we could be under control per se. Then we have another side of us where it's dark, where we're not under control, where we give in to our natural impulses, where we give in to our natural nature of truly being human. So I want y'all to think about this, and I want y'all to think about this real clearly, okay? Even though we have been taught to have one side, this other side always lays dormant inside of you. There ain't no way around it. It don't matter how many times you pray about it. It don't matter how many times you have somebody lay hands on you or wherever the case may be. Hell, it don't matter how many times you go to therapy about it. This side of this picture that I'm showing y'all right now, this other side of you, it always lay dormant in you. So, what can we do about this? Should we just ignore this side? Should we give in to it? What should we do about this? Now, then a lot of religious teaching, preferably through Christianity and stuff, right? They'll teach you that this particular side that I'm talking about, that is evil, that is demonic, right? And they'll teach you to not give in to that certain side. They'll teach you that you should only be this one sort of way, which is to be, good and kind and pure and understanding and all this stuff there, right? But tonight, I want to give y'all a different perspective about this. Mike, what's up with it? Salute, my left. But I want to give y'all a different perspective about this, all right? Now, just like I stated earlier in the beginning, I had to go through this self-discovery phase about me to figure out who I really am. Not what I was forced to be, not what I was taught to be, but I had to truly, truly dig deep and figure out truly who I am. And through my own discovery, throughout me going back and unlearning everything that I learned in my past and relearning myself all over again, I had discovered something. I had discovered that there were two different sides of me. The one side is what you see right now, me being, chilling and being cordial and civil, right? But the other side of me, this right here. This particular side of me manifests itself whenever I feel threatened, whenever I feel like that I need to fight or protect something. When I need to, instead of being timid, I need to be courageous. When I need to be fearless. This particular side right here of this picture, that's when it manifests. But the understanding that I want y'all to get tonight is that both me and this right here, we are one and the same. We are literally one. I could put this picture right here on me to give y'all a better illustration to give y'all the understanding that we are one and the same. We are one. I had learned to accept all parts of me, all sides of me. The side that, culturally we deem as good, and the side that we deem culturally as bad. Every last one of us, we're capable of doing, extraordinary things, extraordinary good things that we consider as good. But at the same time, every last one of us is very well capable of doing things what culturally we consider as bad. All it takes is for the right situation to happen. Then once when that situation happens, that's going to determine whether or not you're going to choose to do what is quote unquote considered as good or quote unquote what is considered as bad. Throughout my young discovery and understanding about myself, and I learned that, to be honest with you, all of this is one and the same. What is good is bad, what is bad is good, and vice versa. That is all the same because it makes me human. It makes me who I am. Now there are certain things that I do have in myself that I consider as moral compasses that I would do. And the only reason why I'm doing it is because I choose to do that, not because I am forced to do it, but I choose to do that. But at the same time, when it comes to a point where I have to protect and defend who I am, rest assured that moral compass will go out the door. But even if it go out the door, that doesn't mean that I'm not who I am. And I had learned that. I learned that when I discovered truly who I am as a human being, people start talking about that. Maybe y'all have experienced that as well too, where people would say this, "Oh, you just stepping out of character. That's not how you supposed to be." And they'll say these things to you in a judgmental way, meaning that they had an expectation for you to be the certain type of way that they wanted you to be. But the only reason why they are like that is because they've been programmed through social norms to be the way that they are. Instead of understanding that all of this is one and the same. Even our behavior is one and the same. What we do behavior wise that could be considered as good or bad is one and the same. It makes up who we are. And I honestly believe that it's time for us to start accepting accepting who we truly are. And not only accept that, but just get an understanding of it. That everything in life, it's like a yin and a yang. It's like black and white with gray. All of it is integrated together into this one thing, this one core thing. And this particular thing I'm talking about is us being human. Now, once again, when I was a religious man, right, I used to want to pray all the time to God and try to get an answer to why God made me the way that I am, or made us the way that we are. But to my disappointment, I never received no answer from God. God never spoke through me or to me or none like that, period. I could sit up here and fake and say that God did, maybe through my mind, where I just had a thought, and we could say that that's God if we prefer to do that. But in reality, a full, honest manifestation of God or the Creator and stuff like that. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I never ever experienced a full manifestation of God, the Creator, or anything like that. I hoped it. I believed it. I even was considering that whenever other people come in, start talking to me about God, I was thinking that, hey, maybe this is God, since they're a messenger of God, maybe this is God. But in reality, I found out that that's not true, that they're not God. They just like me, trying to figure things out, just like me. So that's why now I'm not a religious person no more. To be honest with y'all, I don't even know if I'm spiritual no more, to be real with y'all, because I used to consider myself as a spiritual person, but now I don't even know about that anymore. But I accepted that for what it is. I'm not looking at it as it's something being wrong with me, but I accept it. Until I can figure out otherwise, then that's my immediate reality. Y'all, I had the opportunity to talk to a lot of people throughout my current lifetime. A whole lot of different people through a lot of religious beliefs and everything. And one of the main people, to be honest with y'all, that I could actually have a commonality with is with people who consider themselves as atheists, to be honest with you. Reason why I believe I have a commonality with them. Now, I'm not saying that I'm atheist, because to me, atheism is nothing but another religion to me. But the reason why I say I can relate is for the simple fact that these type of people, they ask the same questions what I ask, and trying to figure things out too, instead of just accepting it for what they've been taught. So that's why I say, in a way, I can want to relate to them a whole lot, because I understand where they're at. versus trying to judge it. Maybe that's another understanding that we all need to master within ourselves. It's for us to instead of always trying to judge people about where they at, maybe we should get to the understanding of just accepting it for what it is. Maybe then we could get to the point like how I did, where now I accept it and I just understand. Now, even though it probably is not part of my immediate reality where they at, that doesn't mean that I should go back and judge them because they're not where I'm at. Who's to say that where I'm at is a higher level than where they at, or vice versa? Because at the end of the day, we don't know. We honestly do not know. Um, well, whenever I look at people who are fighting for like sexual orientation, like the LGBT and all this stuff there, I used to think that um, people who was a part of that, people who choose to live their life like that, I used to think that it was something mentally wrong with them in the past. Furthermore, when I was religious, I used to think that not only was something wrong with them mentally, but I used to think it was something demonically wrong with them. And so therefore I used to judge them according towards that. But now since I have this new enlightenment, I see things different now. At the end of the day, everyone, especially part, the part of the LGBT movement, at the end of the day, everyone is asking the same question I'm asking is why God made me this way and why I choose to do the things that I do. And so since now I understand the reason why, I see people run differently now. I'm no longer, have myself in a space where I'm so judgmental to people now. I'm no longer in a space where I don't think that I'm better than people because of where I'm at. I just see us all as one and the same now. And just like I say, it don't matter. It don't matter, how much money you have. It don't matter, what lifestyle you choose. It don't matter none of that. None of that don't matter. Because in the very end, when we finally make it to the very end of our particular lifespan, it ain't gonna matter about, your lifestyle. It's not gonna matter about your religion. It's not gonna matter about how much money you have. None of that's gonna matter. Because once when it's over, it's over. Now, do I want to believe that once when it's over, we're gonna either go to heaven or hell, whatever? To be honest with you, I don't know. I used to believe that it was a heaven and hell, but now I don't know. I don't know what would happen. I honestly don't. Nor, to be honest with you, none of us don't know. None of us honestly don't know. There have been times where people have died for a short period of time and came back to life and they were sharing their different experiences. But just like I say, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna be reincarnated into another life cycle. I don't know if we're gonna go to a heaven or a hell. I don't know if we're gonna be permanently asleep. Nor I don't know that once it's over, there's gonna be nothing. Have no idea. I honestly have no idea. But Just because I'm being transparent about that, that doesn't mean that I'm going to judge people about that. Well, what if y'all who want to watch me right now, what if hypothetically speaking, the whole concept about religion, even the concept about God, right? What if that whole concept was something that we made up as human beings, and it was made up through centuries, right? What if this whole thing is just one fabrication? That's something that we needed to have control of ourself as being humans. Because those of y'all who are like Bible scholars, I'm not talking about ones who listen to a preacher preach to them about feel good messages and stuff, but I'm talking about people who literally read the Bible, who read the Torah Tanakh, um, who read the Quran, or whatever type of religious manuscripts that you want to read, right? One thing that you can want to know the commonality in every last one of these things is that God particularly had personality. God particularly had characteristics. And then when you just really think about it, right, every characteristics that God have according to, the whatever book you read, right? When you just think about it, it really does describe us as humans. Because we do the same as that thing. We be happy, we be sad, we get jealous, we get mad. We want to reward each other for quote unquote good behavior. We want to smite people for bad behavior. Everything that we do is what God does. So what if this whole concept is just something that was just fabricated that we decide to create to have some type of tangent control? Now, by me saying this, I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, or whatever. I'm just speaking candidly to y'all because, like I say, at the end of the day, Urban, I honestly don't know, and I'm not gonna sit up here on this podcast make y'all think that I know when I don't. I honestly don't know. But the only thing that we can do is just continue to live our life to the fullest. The only thing we can do is make sure that whatever we do, make sure that we are we make decisions that'll be beneficial for yourself, and if you have family, make it beneficial for your family as well too. That's all we can do. One of the things that I want y'all to get out of this podcast today is that I don't want y'all to feel like how I felt in the past. Meaning that when I decide to transition and do other things for myself, that people start judging me about it. I don't want y'all to feel how I felt about that. Because how I felt about that, I felt betrayed it. I was upset about it. It put me in a shallow space because the ones who was giving me this type of feedback was ones that's part of my closest circle, and so it made me feel real shallow. It made me feel like I wasn't accepted. It made me feel like I was an outcast. And I don't know about y'all one, but having that feeling does something to people, especially if you don't know how to deal with it. It'll put you into a certain space of despair. So I don't want y'all to be in that same space how I was, in the past, and I eventually mastered that. But what I desire from y'all who are watching me right now is this: I desire y'all to once again live your life to the fullest. I desire for y'all to accept you, every part of you, this part of you, and this part of you. Accept it fully for what it is. I prefer for y'all to do things that will, that will make you happy. Don't get caught up in, the whole cycle of, being a quote unquote slave to the culture or slave to social norms. Whatever it is that you want to do, it is that you desire to do it. Don't let nothing hold you back from that because you're well capable of doing it. Don't let things such as, what we call in society like mental issues or anything like that. Don't let things like that hold you back from being the best version of yourself. Nor don't let people judge you because you're different. Because you have a certain type of, as they deem, mental disorder. Only you know how to handle you. And I'm going to say that again. Only you know how to handle you. But the question is, have you handled you? Have you really honestly just took the time out and really dealt with you? The reason why I'm saying this is because that is something that I had to do with myself. I had to literally handle me. I really had to figure out both parts of me, this me and this me. Some of us, we haven't even handled ourselves the way that we need to, and that's why um, we don't progress the way that we need to progress. We don't grow the way that we need to grow because we don't take the time out to handle ourselves. We don't take the time out to cultivate ourselves. When was the last time you did that? Where you took the time out to just really handle and cultivate yourself? When was the last time you took the time out and just say to yourself, you know what? I am so proud of you. And this is you talking to you, where you're not getting validation from other people or other sources, but you're getting that validation from yourself, where you literally tell yourself, hey, I am so proud of you. You're doing a great job. You're doing the best version of yourself. How many of you also have been transparent with yourself and tell you like, man, look, you're fucking up. You need to get it together. Wherever type of ambitions and goals that we set for ourselves, this ain't what it is, and we need to straighten up and get it together. Because we deserve whatever it is that we desire. We should be also setting the bar or the expectation high for ourselves. And that expectation shouldn't come from, once again, other sources, from other people. It should come from you. That's where it starts, as from you. Whenever I do things on her as me being a content creator, right? The main part of the reason why I do is not because of people who are watching me, but the main reason why I do is because of me. Because I set a bar, I set a certain expectation for myself, and I push myself to the limit. I push myself to see how far I can go. I push myself to better myself. I'm in competition with not people or other content creators, right? I'm in competition with myself. That's all I see is me. I see what I can do to outdo myself every single time. And this helped me to enhance myself where I begin to have all these creative ideals and I just do it. I just manifest it. Likewise, it should be the same way with you. Where all the ideals you got, all creative ideals, you shouldn't be in competition with me, but you should be in competition with yourself. Because at any given time, or any one of y'all could do certain extraordinary things that I'm not even capable of doing. Y'all could do these things, and it could literally beat me, and I'll be fine with that. I don't care. But however, what about doing extraordinary things to beat yourself? What about that? So don't focus on, just what I'm doing. Focus on what you're doing. Focus on what you can do that's better for you. And I guarantee that when you focus on that, I guarantee that you'll see things manifest in your life that you would never thought that it would happen. But all because you choose to focus on yourself, you choose to take time out for yourself to deal with you. I personally don't have at this point. I don't have no limits of what I can do or what I'm capable of doing, and I accept everything for who I am, regardless of people accept that or not. And I'm almost done with this podcast, and I'm hope this podcast does. Um, is tonight is really one of them heart to heart conversations where I hope that y'all understand where I'm coming from, and it could help you depending on what you get out of this. But my coworkers and stuff, right? For some weird reason, my coworkers really, really, really want me to open up to them. They really want me to be sociable with them and everything. And I know it. I know they do, but I choose not to. The reason why I choose not to is, first of all, just like I stated in the beginning, that I'm more of an introverted person. I prefer to just be in my space, let me do my job, and so I could go home to my family. That's all I care about. So therefore, I don't care about interacting with people. I don't care about making friends with folks or none of that. But for some reason, they just really want me to do that. They be like, man, I just want to figure this dude out. This dude is just so mysterious. Which that's part of me being a Sigma male. So, some of them, they'll even talk about it. Talking about this dude, he just think he this or that. And it ain't none of that. It is that I just don't want to associate with y'all. And then another reason why I don't is because majority of the gender that I work with is, to be honest with you, is women. It's one of the few males that was there. That's me and two other dudes, and that's it. That's part of the unit that I work for. And that's it. And I don't even socialize with them, man. Other than that, it's women. But it's more of the women that want me to open up and socialize with them more. But I don't want to do that because, like I say, I'm an introvert, and also because they are women. And I don't want to associate with women because I know how that would go. Because you'll deal with you'll deal with some women where they'll be messy and they'll knowing good and well that they'll see a ring on me, knowing good and well that I'm married and stuff, right, and I'm committed to Mrs. Urban that they don't care and still want to try to flirt and shoot their shot and all the stuff there. And I'm like, nope, y'all not finna get me caught up. So I choose to be the way that I am. But people will do that to you to make who you are is make it to where who you are that there's something wrong with you, but it's not. But at the end of the day, they want you to accept them and they want you to be a part of the group. But I'm just going to tell y'all tonight, it is nothing wrong with who you are. There's nothing wrong with who you are. And it's time for y'all to start accepting that. Time for y'all to start figuring out who you are. Because if you don't do that, if you don't figure out who you are, I guarantee that other people out there, they're gonna make you be how the way they want you to be. Hell, this is the reason why a lot of relationships are failing the way that it did. Hell, there's the reason why my past relationship failed is because I was allowing people to make me be how the way they wanted me to be. Instead of them accepting me who I am. And so you get to change it. Preferably, also, this is real true, especially with women. Because women have the tendency of using a master manipulation tactics on people, especially men, to manipulate that man to be a certain type of way that they want that man to be. Instead of just accepting him. So don't let people do that to you. You stand out on your own and be who you are. Last but not least, y'all, before I want to get off here, it took a lot of strength for me to fully accept who I am. Accept all this and this right here. It took a lot out of me. It took a lot of strength for me to get to that level of understanding. And I want to encourage y'all that likewise, it's going to take a lot of strength for you to get there. It's going to be a lot of things that are going to come into your way, come to your path, that's going to challenge you, to make you feel like what you're doing is not right. But you have to choose what is right for you. Not what is right for what other people want you to perceive, but you choose what is right for you. So before I get off here, y'all, the conclusion that I came up with the question that I asked y'all in the beginning is why God made me the way that I am. The conclusion that I got out of this is that my personal conclusion is that I'm the way I am because I choose to be who I am and I accept it. I am what I am because I choose to be who I am because I accept that. And I love it. So I hope that this podcast, I know this kind of a different feel tonight versus me doing reactions and stuff, but I hope this particular podcast tonight it does give y'all a different perspective, like always. And like always, y'all, I'm not here to say that what I'm saying is absolute. I'm not here just to give you my point of view about it, and that's it. So, Thank y'all for tuning in. Everyone who's tuning in, watching the stream. And I seen people was coming in and out watching the stream. I appreciate y'all doing that. I appreciate everyone who's watching also in the bushes, and I also appreciate everyone who's gonna catch the replay of this too. All right. So thank y'all so much. Tune in tomorrow night for another episode of my podcast. All right. Thank y'all, and y'all have a great and wonderful night.